Congratulations, we are finally finishing Cambridge 17. Today we are focusing on the last test and I'm going to come up with great ideas in order to pave the way, to make the way so easy for you to kill IELTS interviews. Let's dive in without further ado. Hello, my name's Saber, and in this video we are going to focus on the last test of Cambridge 17. So without further ado, let's just dive into the first question. As usual, I'm going to repeat how you should react, how you should do on the test. So today's topic is about maps. So there are 4 questions about maps. They are so easy. No hard. We don't take it hard actually. Just take it easy and come up with easy answers and try to do that yourself. Sometimes you can pause the video, then play the video in order to test yourself if you can do it very well. And of course you can. I totally have the faith. So the very first question is, do you think it's better to use a paper map or a map on your phone? Why? Online maps can definitely function much better like Waze because they can also show you traffic congestion. So here we have function. Function means do. So we say function much better, do much better. Question 2. When was the last time you needed to use a map? Why not? Last week I was traveling to another city. So I had to use this application in order to arrive sooner. And that's the reason just as well. Question 3. If you visit a new city, do you always use a map to find your way around? Why not? Of course I do. Visiting a city without knowing the streets and generally places can be quite baffling because every moment you might get lost. So baffling here means confusing. Baffling, confusing. Question 4. In general, do you find it easy to read maps? Why not? It might be unbelievable, but it's very complicated for me to read a map, especially if that's on paper. Because there are a lot of lines and this makes me foggy. Foggy means confused. It comes from the weather, foggy. This means I cannot see very well. So this is the last question and this is part 1. So simple, you don't need to do anything special. Do not show off your English. Just take it so easy and step-by-step answer the questions in an easy way. Let's now go for part 2. So part 2 is going to be about a cue card, including questions, 1 minute for you to think, 2 minutes for you to talk about it. So you've got generally 3 minutes. 1 minute thinking, 2 minutes talking. It can be challenging. So here the topic is about an occasion when you had to do something in a hurry, something very fast because you didn't have the time. So the questions are what you had to do, why you had to do this in a hurry, how well you did it, and explain how you felt about doing such a thing in a hurry. So I've come up with an answer. I'll recommend you pausing the video, doing that yourself, and coming back and watching what I have prepared for you. And the answer is, about 6 months ago, an IELTS candidate came to me and wanted to take part in my classes. When I asked him how long we had in order to cover the lessons to get band 6.5, he emphasized that we only had 3 months. 3 months. Because he had to send his documents to the embassy so that he would get the invitation. I knew we could do it on the condition that he'd studied. I finally had to take on the responsibility for teaching him to get such a bad score. We started the first lesson the following day, and we had to have 4 sessions a week. Weeks went by and results were showing themselves. At first, I didn't expect he could make it, but then when I saw the results, I got completely hopeful. Out of a sudden, he hurt himself exercising and he couldn't sit behind a desk out of pain. I really did my best to encourage him so that he would make an effort to study even in bed. Honestly speaking, he did, as I said, and we finally reached targeted results. He also had some mock tests and they were completely satisfying. Time was flying and the exam day was approaching as fast as possible. He took the test and came to me disappointed because he claimed that the reading part was the most difficult part and he didn't think he would get the targeted band score. The good news was that he surprisingly made it and got 6.5. When it comes to doing things in a hurry, you definitely feel so nervous and even sometimes you get disappointed and furious. And as a human, I had all these feelings for this goal. Anyways, we did our best and we got through. So that's it. You can see good vocabularies here, which is the key, and try to be fluent. I mean, do not make noises like because this is going to cause you problems. Don't do it. Don't. Thank you for watching this part. Let's now go for part 3. Here we are with part 3 of this test. Let's now dive in and get to the very first question. Before that, take a look at the questions. The questions are about managing time, arriving late, and managing study time. There are 6 questions, so it's not going to take you even more than 6 minutes. Let's cover them just right now. The very first question is, do you think it's okay to arrive late when meeting a friend? It is normal for friends not to be punctual because they are totally fine and they understand each other in different situations, and this lets them arrive at any time they like to. But on the other hand, I personally think we have to appreciate our time and value the person we are meeting. As a result, it is very necessary to be even in time. Punctual means on time. On time means arriving at the time you have set. Value somebody means to consider them as an important person. And as a result means so finally in time means sooner than on time. For example, you are supposed to be at a place at 5, but you arrive at 10 to 5. So you are in time. Question 2. What should happen to people who arrive late for work? I believe if a person is late for work, the manager ought to means should ask them for the reason. If the reason is logical, then it is totally fine that the manager takes it easy on them. But if it happens regularly, financial punishments can be a little bit effective. And by the way, there is an exception. For example, some people live far from their workplace, so they had better work remotely. Regularly means, let's say, frequently, like every day, every week. Financial punishments are about money. For example, you decrease their salaries. And work remotely means to work from home, right? Online. Question 3. Can you suggest how people can make sure they don't arrive late? Firstly, I'd recommend that people use navigation maps such as Waze, because they can easily find the best and fastest route to the destination. Secondly, people who are likely to be late must leave home about 15 minutes earlier than they usually do. And finally, if transportation system in that country is faster than using your own car, I think it would be better to take public transportation. Question 4. Is it better to study for long periods or in shorter blocks of time? Generally speaking, taking on a lot of knowledge for a longer period of time can cause fatigue. So I think the best way is to study for 20 minutes and rest for 5 to 10 minutes. Then repeating the same cycle. And because you can definitely make sure you understand and it is efficient. And question 5. What are the likely effects of students not managing their study time well? The very first possibility is that they do not find enough time to study or review, and they are more likely to fail the exams at the end of the semester. Another point is that they put off all the lessons to the exam eve, and they have to stay up the whole night in order to cover the lessons to study. What happens in the following day is that they may not remember what they had studied the night before because they are drowsy. Put off means to do later. Exam eve means exam evening, exam night you might call it. Stay up means to stay awake. Up means awake. Drowsy means sleepy. And the last question. How important is it for students to have enough leisure time? Most students are not generally interested in studying. Therefore, having leisure time is vital. Because not having free time to hang out, go to a party, play games, or socialize can get students completely disappointed in what they are doing. So, they need to be encouraged by having something to enjoy in their spare time. Socialize means to communicate, to talk to people. Disappointed means hopeless. No hope. Encouraged means motivated. And the last one is a spare time, which means free time, leisure time, time you can enjoy yourself. So this is the end of the test, and so simple. I want you to test yourself next time. Try to decrease the number of you make, so that your fluency will be fine. And be careful with your grammar and vocabulary by recording your voice. I think this can definitely help you very much. And don't forget, subscribe to my next channel. Next time I'll come back with more ideas and also more techniques and tips on how to speak much better than the previous time. So, see you later on my next video. Bye.